Gregory Grammatikakis was born in Sparta, Greece in 1888. In 1905, at the age of 17, he left his mother and his homeland and came to the United States, as several of his brothers had before him. That's when he changed his last name to Grammas, as his brothers did when they arrived in America. He lived with his brother John and his family in their apartment over his brother's candy store in New York City. This is where Gregory learned his candy and ice cream making skills. He lived with them and helped out in the store until he saved enough money to buy his own and moved out to Port Jefferson, where he opened the first location of Grammas Sweets. The 1915 census shows him living on Main Street and his occupation as storekeeper. He moved the business, and the second Grammas Sweets was in the same building as the Elks restaurant. At first, it was known as the Gramercy Confectionery. Aside from the confectionery business, he was a real estate broker. As one of the controlling stockholders in the Grammas and Mervyn Realty Company, he helped develop the plans for the new Gramercy Sweets Hotel to be located over the Elks restaurant. When the building was complete, he left his younger brother in charge of running the sweet shop, and in April 1923, he became the manager of the new hotel. He also became a naturalized citizen that year. Over the coming years, he still kept his real estate business, but left the management of the hotel. He went back to running his sweet shop, married my grandmother, and they eventually opened the Grammas Sweets that we all remember. My grandmother had been a regional manager for Lofts Candy, so she was no stranger to the business. The now famous green ribbons on the neon sign were my grandmother's idea. All of the candy and ice cream sold at the store were made by my grandparents by hand from the Grammas family recipes. My father helped to build the new location and worked there after serving in the Army during World War II. He used to tell me about how he installed all of the stools and how my older sister learned to walk, holding on to the display cases. When Grandpa sold the store to the Carters in the early 50s, he went back to his real estate business. He spent the rest of his days selling real estate from his office and house at 410 Main Street. But I think he was the happiest when his grandchildren came over. He never minded us playing tiddlywinks or jacks while sitting on the floor in his office while he conducted business at his desk. My grandfather passed away in 1964. I don't think he ever would have imagined that this dream of a 17-year-old immigrant from Greece would be so fondly remembered by so many people after all these years. My family thanks the village of Port Jefferson, the Chamber of Commerce, and Jill Russell of Russell Relations for choosing to have Grammas Sweets as such a big part of this year's Heritage Festival. A special thank you to Jill Russell for all of her hard work and attention to detail in the building of the Grammas Sweets pop-up. I have no doubt that my grandfather is smiling down on Port Jefferson today.